Hi guys, so I'm back to share a little collection of mushroom journals that I've made. Now if you follow my channel you know that I don't have a lot of time for crafting at the moment, but I've been grabbing half an hour here, half an hour there over the past couple of months, and I've finally finished my little mushroom babies. Now I've made 10 of them and they're Traveler's Notebook standard size with a fabric patchwork cover, and they're quite grungy. So I've made 10. Now what I'll do, they're all similar, they're all kind of the same but with a few little differences. So you can notice the placement of the fabric, some of the little embellishments on the front have different fabric, you have different beads, but for the most part they're quite the same. So what I'll do, I'll go through one of them in detail, and then I'll just do a quick flip through of the other 9, just because if you do want to purchase one, I'd like you to be able to see every page and pick the journal that you like, because while they're grungy, some are grungier than others, so you can pick which one you like. Anyway, so let me get started. I'll move these little babies. I just love them. I love mushrooms and I love grungy and I love fabric. So this is all the things I love wrapped up into one little mushroom journal. And I'm just so happy to finally finish them because, yeah, like I said, I've been nicking into my craft room, half an hour here, half an hour there. And it's really hard to work like that. And as you can imagine, they're taking up a lot of room on my desk. Okay, so I don't know how. Let me zoom in so you can see a little bit closer. Okay. So like I said, it's standard Traveler's Notebook size. I'll put the measurements and number of pages and all of that sort of stuff in the Etsy description. My Etsy shop link is down in the comments box below, and these will be available once this video is posted and goes live. So when you're watching this, they'll already be there. But what I'll do, in Etsy you'll see them as one listing, and I will just number them 1 to 10, and you can just pick from the drop down menu which one you like. But they're, like I said, they're all quite similar. Okay, so this is journal number 1. Now I'm going to get too close, aren't I? Okay, there's some little wooden beads. They all have wooden beads, but a few of them, the beads are different, just because I ran out. It's got a little butterfly charm at the end of one, and a little flower charm at the end of the other, and this is on some string. Okay, so this is number 1. As you can see, I've used a lot of browns, greens, earthy tones, and a few little pops of colour here and there, just to, I don't want it to be completely brown. So you can see some orange here. And I just love all the different fabric together. Now, I did try and make this patchworky. I do a kind of cheating style, which maybe I'll do a tutorial one day when I get time. But my idea is for these not to line up. Unfortunately, some have lined up. But yeah, it's not meant to be perfect patchwork because I'm not a seamstress. I just like to sew. Okay, that's the front. I love this fabric, look at that. Okay, so this is the embellishment on the front. They all have a stamped mushroom with some sort of fabric or lace or trim or something, and it's messy stitched around. Okay. The inside cover, they all have the same inside cover. This is some upholstery fabric. It's quite thick. And I decided not to put pockets on the inside front and back covers, just because they're quite thick already and they were getting a bit chunky monkey for a traveler's notebook. So if you want to put this into a traveler's notebook insert, yeah, I don't want to fill it up on you. Okay, so this is like I said, I'll go through this one in detail, and then the rest I'll just do a quick flip through so I don't have to repeat myself 10 times. This is just some coffee dyed paper, which I've then re-dyed with some green watercolour. And that's just a vine stamp, not stamp, stencil. Okay, so this is one of the really grungy ones. This is, you would have seen, if you follow my channel for a while, you may remember it quite some time ago now. I did a video on my alien papers. And this was one of the papers from that alien pack of papers. I'll put the link to all the videos and that I mentioned in the comments box below if you want to go back and take a look later. These were some accidental papers. If you want to watch that video, you'll know how they came about. But basically, these black marks are from a rusty metal tray. But look, I just love them. It just made me think of mushroom and I don't know, so mushroomy and grungy. I just love them. And I love the watercolour on coffee dyed paper. Okay, so fabric ruffle down the front of that page, and it's been stitched straight onto the paper. Some of the stitching is straight, some is wonky. This looks like one of the wonky ones. So when I say wonky, it just tapers out a little instead of a straight line. I love this grungy paper. Okay, some old green writing paper. This is some really thick, it's from a quite old artist sketchbook, and the paper is really rough and thick and matte. I just love it. That yellowing, it has not been coffee dyed. That is just the colour of the paper from natural aging. Little mushroom stamp here. I love this mushroom stamp set. Oh, also these little charms that are these dangles. Some I've left long and some I've left short. But if they annoy you, just snip them off. I'll show you when we get to the center page. So this was also from my alien papers. Look, I feel like I'm either too close or too far away. This is one of the butterfly embellishment, butterfly pockets that I made. Got a video on that as well. Most of the embellishments in here I have done a video, but I'll put all of those in the link. I'll link them in the comments box below if you want to have a look. This was I think it was like mop-up papers on book page. So I've just made a paper tag and mushroom stamp. I love how they looked so grungy. This is a decoupage book page, and I love this napkin. Look at this. Snail, acorns, little berries, mushroom. I just love it. It's such a cute napkin. And I've put that on with a matte decoupage glue, so it's not sticky and it's not shiny. That's folded over to make a tuck spot. Inside is, this is really heavy dyed. It's a paper out of an old diary. When I say old, I mean it's not old, it's like 2012 or something. I say everything's old. Mushroom stamp there. Grungy coffee dyed papers. This was, look, I can't remember. I was just playing around with this. But I thought they were mushroomy, so I decided to put them into this journal. It's a little mushroom embellishment there. Okay, I've just got a little book page pocket there. And inside, isn't that cute? I just love these tags. I don't know if the colour's coming up on camera because my room, it's quite dark. It's late at night, but it's just a green and brown. And that's just a food packaging cardboard. And this is junk mail, like a Coles catalogue or something. That's been stitched together, painted, and this is a real leaf off our lemon tree out back. When the leaves fall on the grass, if you just leave them there a while, over time the elements, wind, rain, whatever, you'll get some skeleton leaves. So some of them they're at different stages. Some of them are quite complete as a skeleton leaf, and a lot of them still have bits of leaf in there. But I like them, this is how I like them, when there's still quite a bit in there. Yeah, it was just painted with some black and brown acrylic, and I gave it a really light coat of a green metallic and then sealed it and backed it with coffee dyed paper. Oh, this is some really cute mushroom wallpaper. I just love this mushroom wallpaper. I don't know where on earth you would use mushroom wallpaper. What wall would you put that on? If I had enough of this, I would love to plaster my whole room, my whole house in this. It's so cool. I just love it. Yeah, it's quite a big, it's one of the big rolls. So you can't see the complete picture of all the mushrooms on this little square, but you'll see little pieces in other journals. It's so cute. I just love it. Okay, in here, it's just a coffee dyed envelope with a mushroom stamp. This was one of the mushroom stamps that was sent to me by Emma from Starving Emma. I'll put her channel link down below, and I just love it. It stamps so well. It's so cute. Anyway, I had a bunch of these little envelopes that I found at an op shop, so I just coffee dyed them. I wish they didn't have that little postcode there, but you can always cover it up with something. But I coffee dyed them. These ones had a plastic strip along the back, you know, that you pull it up and it sticks down. So it was quite sticky actually. So I've just put a little piece of fabric over it, wrapped the whole little flap, and just stitched it down. And I think they look quite cute like that. So all the envelopes have different fabric, and that's what I mean, how they're the same but a bit different. So, you know, same envelope but different fabric. Inside of that, I've just put some little scraps of this wallpaper from when I cut it down to size. So this one just has one little scrap. Some have two. I thought you can find use for that somewhere. Just a little paper clip that I have coloured with some alcohol inks to make it look rusty. A little scrap of fabric. This is just a little scrap paper notepad. A bit of fabric stitched on top. This is a fairy card from, I don't know if it's from a game, but it's just one of those children's fairy cards. But they were quite bright, and I don't know, I wanted to put a fairy card in a mushroom journal because it just seemed fitting. But these cards were quite bright. So what I did, I've just glued over top a piece of sewing pattern paper that's quite brown, and that dulled it down completely. Now It's a lot clearer in real life. I don't think you can see it on camera. But yeah, you can still see the fairies and everything. It's just dulled the colour down a lot. Especially these edges were really bright yellow and green and red on the other ones. Then I've stitched and inked the edges, a bit of fabric, and some of my coffee dyed alien papers on the back. I just called them alien papers at the time because I didn't know what to call them. That napkin, coffee dyed paper. This was why I called them alien. They kind of turned out green because I was dyeing blue and yellow and white pages at the time. Actually, go check that video out. The pages turned out so gorgeous. I held on to them for ages. I just didn't want to use them. So lots of writing place, or space. That's just a fern stencil. This stencil actually, it was in a packet of their wall stencils. You know, if you want to stencil furniture or walls or anything like that. So grungy. This is another little notebook that I've made out of the scraps from these papers cut down. Stitched a little picture of a mushroom on the front, and I've left that as a pocket as well. Put a little mushroom tag in there. It's on book page. Look at this stamp. Is that not the cutest? I love that stamp. You may remember when I purchased that little set of stamps, I went mushroom stamp crazy. I was stamping everything. And that's some of the coffee dyed paper with green watercolour on top. I love how that turned out as well, and it feels really nice. Okay, so that's journal number 1. Okay, see, that took me forever. So I've got 9 more, so I'm going to go a lot quicker with the rest. So this is journal number 1. I just love it. Okay, so this is journal number 2. Front, so you can see they're all a little different fabric. Love this fabric. This one has a shorter string. Same butterfly and flower. Okay, I'm going to flip through these quite quick now because they really are all the same. Just the level of grunginess on the papers are a little different. This one I love, look at that. I love these pages with the black from the metal tray. Oh, this is just bits of fabric and little leaf cutout. These pockets, a few are different as well. Some have regular book page and others, like this one, have, this is a coffee dyed matte page. And you also see, the journal number 1, it was folded triangular. This one I've folded across this way instead of down. And that was only because some of the tags were these tags were a lot wider, so I couldn't fit them into a regular book page little pocket like the first one. But I quite like how those turned out. Oop, I didn't put a piece of fabric on that one. I must remember that. I like to have a little piece of fabric on the top of the paper clip. So this fabric is different as well. I've left a lot of the strings, the threads from sewing. If they annoy you, just snip them off. The same with if beads annoy you, you can just snip the center thread about there to take that off. I love that. Okay, that's journal number 2. Okay, so this is journal number 3. I love that. So this is one of the skeleton leaves that is almost complete. Just a tiny little patch there. Isn't it gorgeous? I really love them. This is really pretty fabric as well. It's vintage fabric from my grandmother. This one has 2 little scraps, some just have 1. Where did I just put my paper clip? There. This is, it's more reddish in real life. Don't know if it comes up on the camera. See? How gorgeous is that? Kind of reminds me of the eco-dyed papers that everyone's been doing, which I would love to do, but I don't want to do all the boiling. I'm not sure why they're called eco-dyed. See, look at these marks from the middle tray. So gorgeous. I'm not sure why it reacts like that, but I love how they came out. Okay, this one lined up. Oh no, didn't. Some of them lined up quite, see the little intersections? They're not lined up. They weren't meant to be, but they were meant to be more out of alignment than they are. Now they just look like they were meant to be in alignment, but someone was a bad patchworker. Okay, so that's journal number 3. I just love it. This is really, look at this fabric as well. So nice. Like, how perfect is that for a mushroom journal? Okay, that's journal number 3. Okay, I've got to go faster. It's going to take me all night. So this one, the string is quite long. I love this as well. It's so cool. That's the front. Oh, James, if you're watching, there's Grandma's fabric. James is my friend in America, and that was a little piece of fabric of his grandmother's. He sent it to me in a happy mail. Okay, so this is journal number 4. Am I not close enough? I feel like I'm not close enough. Okay. Look how mushroomy does that look. I just love these papers. Okay, I've got to stop saying it. I'm going to try and do another batch of these accidental papers if I can. I know I'm pulling out everything and you thinking it's the same thing in every pocket, but I just want whoever buys the journal to see exactly what they're getting. Isn't that cute? I love them. This one was very curly, so it's not as flat and smooth as the last one. Look how gorgeous it looks. Okay, I've got to stop saying how much I love them, or we're going to be here all night. That's the fabric on this one. Okay, so that's journal number 4. Okay, this is journal number 5. The front and the back. Fabric on that one. So you can see that most of these strips of fabric on the envelopes are the same fabric that I've used to quilt the front, because had a lot of scraps left over. Okay, so that's journal number 5. Oops. Okay, this is journal number 6. This one I've put some dark red fabric on the front, a little bit of lace or something there. Okay, so this is journal number 6. Now, journal number 6 has, I don't know if you can see, there's a darker patch there. Actually, it looks darker on camera, I think. But this was where the upholstery fabric had a little label there, which I pulled up, and it was a little sticky. It's not sticky now though, but you can see a little bit of the patch. So, I mean, you can stick a pocket or envelope or something there, or leave it. I mean, it's a junk journal. It's grungy. I don't know why I worry about little things like that when there's dark patches everywhere. So look at the effect on this one. I just love it. I love this leaf as well. I love everything. Stop saying I love everything. Okay. These are just little scraps. I love how these little fairy cards came out. I had been saving those little fairy cards to make some mini fairy journals for ages, but just never got around to it. I've still got some more. I still can, I suppose. Okay, so that is journal number 6. I'm running out of space. Okay, how are we going for time? Okay, this is journal number 7. The strings on this one are shorter than the others. The front and the back. Oh, this one lined up okay. Oop, no it didn't. If I tried to line them up, they probably wouldn't. When I don't try, they lined up quite well. Look how cute they are. And they all look kind of, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it looks like it's hand painted or something. But it's just wallpaper. So cute. Isn't that beautiful? It's so delicious. Okay, so that's journal number 7. Almost there. If anyone's still watching, you'll be all mushroomed out. Okay, this is journal number 8. This one has some netting underneath the back. I love this. Look at the coffee staining. Did those ages ago, those pages. Okay, so that's journal number 8. Okay, so this is journal number 9. Let me see, back up. Whoops. I don't know if I showed you those closer. Now I feel I'm too close. Oh, this is eyelash trim on here. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Okay, that was journal number 9. Lucky last. And journal number 10. This is one of the ones with the beads are a little different. It's like the moon, the surface of the moon. Oh, so grungy. So yummy. I just love them. Oops, I've got something stuck here. Oops. This skeleton leaf, probably one of my favourites. Just one side left on it. Isn't that pretty? These are quite thick because it's basically just a Coles junk mail catalogue stitched together. Glued a bit and then stitched and painted. So I didn't mention before, these journals are completely from recycled and repurposed, salvaged, rescued, whatever you want to call it, materials, other than paint, glue and inks. The rest, papers, envelopes, fabrics. If it's been purchased from a charity op shop or recycle centre. Nothing has been purchased new. Oh, I forgot his little string on the paper clip. I'll add that on. That's a pretty one. It's got a little frog holding an umbrella, a leaf umbrella. Oops, too close. Okay, and that's the last. That's journal number 10. Okay, so I hope you like them. And these will be listed in my Etsy shop. Well, now, as you're watching this video, they'll already be listed. Hope you like them. I'll put all of the dimensions, number of pages, all that sort of stuff in the Etsy description. And look how delicious they look, all piled up. I just love them. Anyway, that's it, and thanks for watching. Bye.